Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. Angela Wolf here, Brother Brand Ambassador. And guess what? We're here with another fabulous show. Very exciting. So grab your sublimation printer. Wait till you see what we got going on here. But even better, your Artspira app. And today, you're going to be using one of the free designs. So anybody could be doing this. So pop in, say hi. We are live today. We are live. Leave your questions, your comments. We are on Brother Sewing and Crafting Facebook and YouTube pages. And it's so nice to see you all. I have to tell you, Brother fans, you're so awesome. I love working on the back end, trying to get all the cameras loaded. We're getting everything set up, and I can see all of you saying hi. So thank you. We love that. All right. So you know her. She is so much fun. I want to know if she's wearing pink today, but my friend Lynn is here. I'm laughing because I'm like, are you wearing pink?
Look, there's some pink flowers. I got a pink tablecloth. I got pink in the back here. So, it's here.
You are blowing away my pink. I was going to grab a pink cup and I ended up with a brown owl. I think it's because it blew me out.
Wait. I have my pink water bottle back here.
Oh, perfect. I'm so excited today, Lynn, for this project. And if you haven't met Lynn yet, she is also a Brother Brand Ambassador. And you also have live shows, don't you? Or
I
YouTube.
do. Yep. Yeah. So we do a lot live over on Facebook. We got a lot of Instagram stories happening all the time. And I do a lot of easy crafts. I like to claim the easy. So those that are maybe just starting out to craft or feel like they're intimidated by things, I like to make craft projects that are approachable and you're going to be really excited about the outcome. So I always like to say no Pinterest fails here because we try out all the crafts and we like to make them really, really easy for you. So you're excited when you're done with them and you're proud of them.
But I have to add, not only are they easy, which I don't even realize that until after you demo it,
right?
But they're so cute. They don't look like they would be that easy. So that's the best part.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the cool things is that, we create crafts that are easy, but then you can also add your own pizzazz to it, right? So if you're more of an advanced crafter, you can add some more fun to it and make it your own.
Yeah, it's awesome. So today you're going to be doing something really fun, which isn't quite ready for my yard yet, but I think it is for yours.
Yes. So I'm here outside of Atlanta in Roswell, Georgia, and I am experiencing summer already. I was saying it was literally like 80 some degrees the other day. It was insane. Like we are hot here. So I figured instead of doing a spring yard sign, I might as well just do summer because it already feels like summer here. But you can kind of replace what we're doing with your own touch, whether you do spring, summer, or you put in some other fun words. But you can see I have it here. And this is on one of those yard signs that you stick in your yard. I have it in a bucket of sand back here, so it sticks up. But today we're going to be using the Brother Sublimation printer. I absolutely love sublimation, and I am fairly new to it. In the last 2 to 3 years, I started doing sublimation. I really wanted a sublimation printer, but they were all so expensive. And when Brother told me they were coming out with one, I was absolutely thrilled. And so this guy has been one of my absolute favorite crafting tools. So the Brother Sublimation printer, I think it is one of the best priced ones in the market, and you get professional quality printing. You're going to love to see how vibrant the colors are. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the techniques. And the fun part about it too is that you actually get to use Artspira. And so Angela, give us 1 second. I think our connection with the phone dropped out. So if you give us 1 second, we're going to try and get reconnected so that you can actually see my phone screen super easy.
Sounds good. So we can hear you, but we can't see you for a moment.
Okay, got it.
So what is she going on? She's going on artspira.com, not artspira.com. Artspira on your phone. In fact, I was just on my phone trying to see, I think I had an update. I haven't been in on there for a while. But by the way, speaking of updates, I'm going to squirrel on you for a moment. All of you that have the Avenir, did you get your email from Brother? Yes, there's a new update. I turned on my machine today and there was the little exclamation point. So I actually will be sending a newsletter out as well to remind you to make sure you update that. So always check your machines for updates. And it's really nice when they have Wi-Fi because it will tell you. So if you have the Luminaire, if you have any of the others and they have an update, it'll have the little exclamation point. If you don't know where that is, you can always leave a message and I can give you a little.
All right, Angela, I think we are back. Can you see it? Let me present. Hold on 1 sec.
Hello.
Apps where you share, right? Okay, so let's see. All right, I'm selecting it. Okay, so you should be able to see it in just a sec.
Perfect.
Okay,
Oh,
awesome. Yay!
there we
You know,
go.
all the different things that you can connect, right? Can you hear me?
I can hear you and we
Hi.
can see you. And there's the screen. I cannot wait to see what you have. We were playing with Disney, remember? That's why that's up there.
Yes. Okay. So I am in the home screen of the Artspira app. If you are new to Artspira, it is an amazing app that really is the connectivity between all of Brother's different machines, from sewing to embroidery to printing to cutting, sublimation. You can use this app for all of those things, which is really cool. So above the top, you kind of see you can skip to some of the different sections. But today I want to scroll down. And what I love about this is they are launching free and paid designs weekly. So we're going to actually use one of the new free printing designs. So I'm going to go ahead and click into there. I was just browsing through here, and this kind of is what inspired me to create this flag project. But when I scroll down, give it a second, there's a lot in here, right? I found this watermelon, which I love. So we're going to use the watermelon for our design today. And I'm going to be using one of these sublimation yard flags. I'll hold it up for you. You can get these online. And the fun part about these is they are really inexpensive. I think I got a pack of 12 of them for like $7.99. But the one thing you do want to watch out is when you're buying these, they need to say sublimation. And what that really means is that you need to look for a material that has a 100% polyester count to it. Now, if you go down from that 100%, you lose the vibrancy of the colors. So just keep that in mind. So if you're ever using a base for sublimation that may be like 80 or 90%, your colors won't be as true and vibrant. So to get the best out of your prints, you really want to look for that 100%. But these are a cool, inexpensive tool. You can stick them in your yard and you can make a whole bunch of them and change them out all the time, which I like. All right, so we are in the design screen. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to click up here where it says letter and landscape. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate. So I had rotate clicked on. I'm going to click it off because I want it to be a vertical design because that's going to fit my flag the best. And so the cool part about this is you can literally use your fingers with the pinch method and you can design it for how big you would like it. And you can move it around, which I really like. And I'm using a phone. You could do this on a tablet as well if you like a bigger screen. And then once I'm done, there's icons here on the bottom. You see one that looks like a pattern, a plus sign, and then the lowercase and uppercase A. We're going to do that one for our font. I'm going to go ahead and do an H. And because I'm going to do separate letters for this, because I want to do them each a different color, and it's easier to do it this way. But that font doesn't really work for me for summer. So I'm going to go into the font section. What you'll notice here in the font section is there are free and paid fonts. You get to see both no matter what app you're using, what version of the app. And I'm going to use the strawberry flowers one. I like it. It's cute. To me, it looks very summery. And I'm going to pinch, and I can pinch my letters to size. And then I can also, if I need to, I can adjust if they're tilted or if they're straight. But you can also go in and do that on your little bar that you have down here. I also want to change the color of mine. So we'll start on this one with red, and we're going to make that one. And then because I know I like the size of that one and the font, I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm just going to put duplicate 2. So then I'm going to go ahead and take my E. And what I'll do is I'll just hit edit, put my caps on there, and I do my E. And then I can just go change my color. So maybe we'll do yellow with that one. And then we'll duplicate it. So it's pretty easy if you want to do individual colors. And then I'll show you how we're going to snap them together to adjust the entire size. And if anybody's watching, I always love for you to drop in where you're watching from. To me, it's super fun to see people watching from all over the country. And then sometimes we also get people watching from out of the country too. So tell us where you're watching from. In case you missed it, I am in Atlanta, but I'm actually in like the suburb Roswell, right outside of Atlanta. If you're familiar, you may know. Angela, do we have anyone that's told us where they're watching from?
Yeah, we've got Mississippi in the house. We actually have Petra from the Netherlands. Hey.
Ooh, I love that.
I love watching this though. I'm like mesmerized because I'm watching you. I can see the screen, but I can see you're using just your finger to touch everything.
Just my
Nothing
finger.
special. It's so easy to do. In fact, I had my nieces playing around with that and they filled up all my saves.
I know, right? Yes. If you ever let your kids on it, like they will use all of your saves. Okay. So I'm almost done, and it's not exactly where I want it. Let's do an orange one for my last one. I
Oh,
feel like those
Lydia.
are.
You got the Netherlands all over. Hey, Lydia, nice to see you
Ooh,
on here.
love
Arizona,
it.
Texas. We've got everyone. Even a friend here in Michigan besides me.
Amazing. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, my O is still selected, but I don't like how big it is. It's not exactly how I want it centered, but I am happy with how they are spaced with one another and that they're all the same size. So I've got one selected. I'm going to hit that select toggle, and I'm going to select 1, 2, 3, 4, all those letters right there. And I'm going to hit group, and I'm going to group them. So now the word hello is all one grouping, and I can move it as needed. And then I can also pinch it to be larger. So now I can get it to fit exactly up top there the way I wanted to. Super easy versus trying to individually move each one of my letters. Okay, so for the very last thing that I'm going to do, this is a super quick project too, which I like it. I'm going to hit OK to get out of the screen, and I'm going to write summer. And we're going to keep summer all lowercase, just like that. And then I'm not loving that font, so I'm going to go ahead and let's pick a new font. Let's go with the Florida Bold one. So that is one of the paid ones. So you can kind of, if you don't have the paid subscription, there are plenty of options for you to be able to use different fonts. All right, we're going to make it a smidge bigger. And then we're going to do something cool. We're going to transform it. And we're going to curve it, which I absolutely love. So this transform toggle down here allows you to arc your text. And then it gives you the options like, do I want it to be really arced, or do I want to go the other way, which I do. So I want it to arc upward, and you can kind of play with what that looks like and go back in if you're like, oh, I want to arc it a little more. I'm going to tilt mine slightly, maybe go down a little bit.
Simple. I love it. I love it.
But like that adds so much to the design, right? Versus just having summer straight across. I love that they added that transform feature. That's been around for a few months, but I think it's super cool. And then I'm also going to change my color. I'm going to make that one orange. All right, just like that. I am completely done with my design.
Wow.
Now, if I wanted to change the size of my design, I can go back in, I can select, hit select and select all, and then group all of it together. So if I'm like, I want it to be slightly bigger and I don't want to move all the pieces, I can do that, right? So I can make it to almost fill the page. And then we hit OK. We hit done. We'll save it. It may tell me I've got too many things where I'm just going to type a letter. It doesn't matter what you save it as. Oh, do I have enough space? I've been saving a lot of designs lately. Woo! Okay.
Oh, wait.
Now,
look, it switched automatically.
Yep. So that's the cool part about this. You don't even have to think about mirroring the design, because I'll tell you, I forget, right? When I'm doing HTV projects, sometimes I forget to mirror it myself. But what I love is that it does it for you. So you'll also see that there is a printer right here. So if you have multiple printers, so I also have the print moda that is not that far from me right now. So my print moda is on here. So if I've used that last, sometimes it will select my print moda, but you can always go in there and click which printer. And then just like that, you hit print. One more thing I want to point out before we jump off of this screen is there is heat guide right here. And so you can click on where it says heat guide, and that will open up in your Safari or Chrome or whatever you use. It'll open up an internet page that gives you all the guidelines for what you should use for your heat settings on your press, which I love. All right, and we'll make sure our printer is on, and I think we can get rid of my screen, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to print. All right.
So simple to do.
So simple. All right. We'll give that a second. There it goes. All right. So you can hear it doing its magic, which I love. And this is a somewhat simple design. So you'll see how fast it comes out. But while we're waiting for it, let me move my screen out of here so I can see what you see. All right. So while it's waiting to print, I want to show you, I printed another one out earlier. The colors look super dull, right? You may see this and be like, ooh, that is not the colors I wanted. But that's the magic of sublimation, which I love, because you're always wowed when you're done with it. So while we're waiting for the other one to print out, we've got our flag, and you'll notice my flag has some creases in it. You always want to do a quick pre-press. So I'm going to jump that out, and I'm going to pre-press really, really quick. So I want to get out these wrinkles. I'm going to just put that right in my little press, and I'll pre-press it for maybe like 30 seconds just to get out any moisture, and then also to get out any wrinkles. Sometimes if you have some deep wrinkles in there and you press this directly on those wrinkles, it's going to get kind of funky. One of the other things that you need, we've talked about this before in live, is another key ingredient to your sublimation journey is heat safe tape. So those of you that may not know what this tape can withstand, Angela, you may know, but I mean, it can go like probably 900 degrees, I would guess, maybe 800. But this is the only kind of tape you can use when you are using your sublimation projects. And the important part about that, here, I think we've already had 30 seconds. Yep. Okay. The important part about using tape is that you need to tape your design in place. Okay. So we're going to take this out and all right, we're going to lay it down. All right. And then you'll see this was already done, right? So that print was what? I don't know, maybe a minute and a half. Took not long at all. Okay. So I've got my design. It's already reversed for me. What I do is I'm going to go ahead and position it on. Make sure that you've got that when you're looking for a flag, also just remember that your top is where the little bar goes in. When I was making this sample, I almost put it in upside down. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it where we want. And then this is where we take our heat safe tape, right? So we want to tape our design in place to where we would like it. So I'm going to.
When you're talking about that tape, though, I would encourage everyone, because there are so many different brands, make sure you check the back of the label to make sure that it fits for the temp that you're doing. Because if there's one that doesn't go as high as your press, you want to make sure it doesn't melt. That's a big thing.
Yes, it will melt. And all right, so I'm going to put 2 pieces on the top and the bottom. And then I'm also, just for safety's sake, I'm going to put 2 pieces on the side. And the reason we do this is so that our design doesn't move. Because if it moves, you get what's called a ghosting effect. And it looks like you moved your design mid-press. I just realized mine wasn't super center. And I think I had something on my press. I got a little black mark there, but we'll just ignore that. Okay. You get a ghosting effect. And that literally looks like the design slightly shifted. And it almost has that like double vision look to it. And that can happen if you're pressing, right? So having your tape on all 4 sides, and then I'm going to go ahead and place this on my press. The other thing that you probably want to do is, I've never had any problems with Brother sublimation paper, but I do this just to be safe. I also do this because if I get something on my press, which I noticed a little black mark came off and I just pressed it, this protects your project surface. So if I would have put this on before I pressed it to get the wrinkles out, I wouldn't have gotten that black mark on there. But always put a piece of parchment on. The parchment can also withstand that high temp, okay? So we put that on. Make sure it's on there. I'm going to slide this guy in. Whoops. Yep. Oh, hold on. Let me see. I think it may have came off when I put it in. Yep. Slide it on. Boom. Okay. So make sure that your design stays in place if you're using an auto press like I am. Okay, perfect. There we go. All right, we're in. And then I've got it set for 360 for 55 seconds. Again, you'll want to use that heat guide that you saw in the Brother app that was right on the bottom. So after you hit print and it says your submission is correct, hit that heat guide and double check your temperatures so that you know that you've got the right settings. And this is, in case you missed the beginning, this is what we're making right now. And I, of course, added some pizzazz to the top and the bottom because my #1 motto in life is everything is better with trim and rickrack. Which, Angela, I feel like you could share that passion with me as well.
I could. Definitely, I could see it on the bottom of my skirt.
Yeah.
Michael A., she is using the Brother printer, the Brother sublimation.
Yep. And it's nice and lightweight and it's small too, which I love. It's great, sits on a shelf. If you don't have a ton of crafting space, it's a nice machine that also too can easily tuck away if you need it. It also self-cleans itself, which we talked about last time, is cool. But when you don't know that, it can be a little creepy because you hear the machine start cleaning it and you're like, what is happening? Is there a ghost in my house? But it really is, I think, one of the best sublimation printers on the market, especially if you were wanting to just get into sublimation. All right. So you may want to let it cool for a minute, but, we'll throw caution to the wind. I'm a crafter. I don't have any fingerprints, but like, check this out. Look at how bright and vibrant those colors are. Minus that little black mark that came from my press because I think there was some dirt on it. But how great is that?
I love
and
that.
then-
That's a perfect spot for a little bling. You could add a little bling to that
bling
spot.
right there. Yep. But then look, so I'm also going to take this one is fun. So you can kind of see how I added the bling to this guy. Then you can either sew if you want to sew in any trim on the top or the bottom, or you could use fabric glue as long as you use a glue that is great for outdoors and weatherproofing. But I added some ribbon and some rickrack on the bottom, and then this fun little pom-pom trim and rickrack. So this is a project that start to finish, you can get done in 20 minutes max. Like you saw how quickly we designed it, and how quickly it printed and pressed. And then depending on how much you want to add to it, you can even add some personalization to it if you want to. So maybe you put your house number on it. If that's, if your house number isn't normally visible, this could be a cool thing. You could put your address on there too, so the mailman can find you when they're delivering all those packages.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Lorraine, wants to know what kind of ink does it use?
So it actually uses a specific sublimation ink, and that's a great part about Brother. All of the Brother ink products can be bought on Brother's website or at your local Brother dealer. They also have them as well, but I will say this ink lasts a really, really long time. I use this guy a lot, not only to create projects, but I am sublimating. I just had my 40th birthday and everyone got all kinds of different products made with my sublimation printer. So I'm using it a ton and my ink lasts. I think this, out of any printer I've used across the board, the longevity of the ink canisters in there, I think is amazing.
I'm so glad you pointed out, speaking of ink, how when you printed it, it's not quite as vibrant on the actual paper until it's printed. It's a big difference.
Okay, look, yeah, this is a fun because we didn't use this one. This was the other one I had printed. But hold on, I'm trying to see if you can see. Let me hold this like this. But you can see the difference, right? Of how it looks dull. And if you're a first-time sublimator, you might be like, is that supposed to be like that? And then you reveal the design and it is so beautiful and bright and vibrant.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you pointed that out because I remember when this printer first came out, maybe a couple years ago, the first question was, mine is not bright. And then as soon as they press it, they're like, yes, it is.
Yes. And I think one of the other cool things to point out about sublimation that is different than when you are crafting using HTV is that when you're sublimating, that ink is fusing with that fabric, right? So you get the longevity of it. This is not going to peel, right? Because that ink fused with my 100% polyester fabric. It's less likely to fade, doesn't peel. If you can't tell, like I love sublimation. It is one of my favorite things to do as a crafter.
Well, and it's so fast and so easy. And I love the little rickrack. And for those that are not into sewing yet, which you will be if you hang out with us Brother Sewing people, you won't be able to help it. But if you're really like, you know what, I'm afraid to sew, you could always use the fabric glue to add that too.
Absolutely.
I think that would be a great beginner sewing project because the rickrack kind of goes like this anyways. You don't even have to worry about sewing straight.
Yeah. So if your lines aren't straight, that's perfect.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for this great project. Does anybody have any other questions for her? Because she finished that in 20 minutes, including us chatting. That means you can do this at home so fast. Okay. Cindy's got a question for you. What do you got, Cindy? Is the printer what you need to do cups? Is this the printer? Yes. That you can do cups with?
Yes, absolutely. So as long as you get the cups that are sublimation friendly, right? So when you're buying your cup, either be able to see that you've got that polyester substrate on there or that it says a sublimation cup. So when you're doing cups, we did tumblers not that long ago. I think it was maybe like a month or two. Yep. So you're just going to use a tumbler press, or if you do have a crafting oven, you can use that as well. But works too.
Yeah. And Cindy, if you haven't seen some of our past shows, if you go to the crafting Brother Crafts, so let's see, there's Brother Sewing, then there's Brother Crafts YouTube channel. Go to Brother Crafts YouTube channel, click on live, and you'll go back and see these videos because I think it was maybe two ago. I think it was. Yeah,
I think it was maybe February-ish. I think maybe or January we did, but we did tumblers, and so you can see how I use sublimation printer for the tumblers.
Oh, Lucy, she loves her. She's got her 10 needle working. She's multitasking. She's watching you. embroidering away.
I love a multitasker.
I do too. Michelle, if I was making a quilt, what type of fabric would you use? I would use cotton, but you know what? There are t-shirt quilts. I've seen people use really nice like silks and things like that. So, Lynn, have you ever made a quilt?
I have never made a quilt. No. So that is on my like brother ambassador like goals list, is to really learn. I'm a basic sewer and I'm starting to learn embroidery, but that is on my list of things I want to learn. And I'm excited because so many of you and so many of the other ambassadors are amazing teachers. So I'm going to be watching and learning that.
I've never made a quilt either. I've quilted
Oh, you
fabric.
haven't? I thought you made a quilt. No?
No, I designed clothes and I've made quilted fabric for it. But I will say, if anybody's new here, again, go back to Brother Sew's YouTube channel, go on the live shows. We did a whole series of 5 shows in a row with Wendy, and she gave a free pattern. It might still be free. You might want to check it out. There was a link below it. And then she did a sew along for 5 weeks. So great way to start, even with a small one. So I printed the pattern. That's as far as I got. Wendy will be very ashamed of me.
Hey, we're all here to learn something new, right? I am the crafty side of the Brother Ambassador team, but I'm excited to dive more into sewing and quilting and embroidery and all that fun.
I love it. I love it. Oh, Michelle, are you talking about quilting? If you're making a quilt and sublimation, then you got to have the polyester.
Yep, you got to have 100% polyester.
That helps. I thought you just meant quilt. So I'm glad you asked again. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, my crafty friend Lynn, this is so much fun. This is a great, easy project. You could fill up your whole yard. In fact, you just gave me a couple of ideas for spring here. So I might have to go find that watermelon, see if they got any tulips on there. That's what I need.
Yes, I did see some tulips when I was browsing.
Yes. So by the way, you can leave comments even after the live show. Brother Social will check those out. If there's anything, you have questions that we can't answer, they'll help. I have our website scrolling below. Make sure you follow us all on social media. We always add a lot of fun stuff there, and we love seeing what you make. So tag us. Michelle says, thank you. You're so welcome. Thanks for explaining a little better so I didn't misinform you. All right. Until next time, everyone, have a great day. And guess what? Speaking of garden, I don't think she used it for a garden outside, but Tuesday, there's a show. Tina Bartlemay will be on there. She's doing a mini quilt. This would be perfect for you and Lynn, because it doesn't take very long, and
love
it hangs on something very similar to that. It's going to tie in.
Cool. I will be watching.
I love it. I love it. All right. So let me find an exit for everyone. Let's see. What do you want to learn about today? Why don't I give you a quick preview of the fonts, because this is pretty cool on the Avenir, where you can preview your fonts before you even stitch. Until next time, happy sewing, everyone. Happy crafting. Lynn, can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye.